back to Beer for Breakfast ABV. I am Danielle from Marty and Danielle in the Morning on 91X. As always, my beer drinking partner in crime is with me, Brewmaster Paul Segura of Karl Strauss. And got something special today. Normally we would drink beer, but we're drinking sake today. We have Josh and Kim from Setting Sun Sake. Welcome, guys.
Oh, thank you.
Welcome to the show.
What is this beautiful pink colored
Looks like
beverage we have?
rosé.
This is our cheers. This is our pomegranate, hibiscus, and green tea infused sake, our PHG. It's part of our Core 4 lineup, and it's a session sake at only 8%.
I like that 8% is session.
Yeah. It's middle of the road. It's not too much, but it's pretty well balanced. You get the pomegranate for the fruitiness, hibiscus for the floral notes, and green tea acts like hops and brings it all back together. So it sips nice and dry. It's like an all-day rosé of sake.
Yes.
I like what you did with that.
Yeah.
And I'd say you'd have a PhD in PHG.
Oh my goodness!
Oh my
I see
goodness!
what you did there.
Look at it! It's just dropping all over the place. Look at this.
Dad joke alert.
This is really nice. I like how delicate the hibiscus is, and the green tea is even a little bit more delicate.
And it's all in balance with the sake, so you don't lose what I'm trying to showcase is the sake, but you know, this is something nice and sessionable for while by the pool or working on the car. Or
Totally agree with that.
So to break it down, I mean, what is sake?
That's a great question. Sake is a rice-based fermentation, famously from Japan, but we brew American sake here. Traditionally, it'd be 4 simple ingredients, which would be in our Ronin Clear and Cloudy. It'd be rice, water, koji, and yeast. Rice is similar to grain. It's the source of the sugar, and the water is the substrate. The yeast turns the sugar into alcohol. But what's different in sake is the koji. The koji is another different living organism that converts carbohydrates into simple sugars. So it slowly spoon-feeds sugar during the entire fermentation process. It's a truly unique process that I've fallen in love with.
So as the koji's breaking down the carbohydrates into sugars, the yeast is then converting the sugars into alcohol, which gives us desired effects.
All the desired effects, and it's known as a multiple parallel fermentation, where 2 biological agents are enacting upon the mash at the same time, but not symbiotically. They're just doing their own thing, and together it becomes sake.
You could have just said it's science, and, you know.
I mean, it's all science, really. What is, from beginning to end, how long does it take for us to get to our finished product?
So beer takes about 2 weeks grain to glass. Sake is about 3 months.
Oh my gosh! So
Takes
this is a
considerable
labor of love.
Yes.
Physically and mentally, it requires a lot. There's 4 brew days in our process to make the same batch, where we're adding more rice, more water, more koji to batch the whole thing, and then it ferments, and then we separate the kasu, which would be the sake lees, from the sake.
Do you separate the lees in all of them, or are there some that you...
That's a great question. So a lot of people call Nigori sake cloudy sake. Nigori literally translates to cloudy, so we call it our Ronin Cloudy. All sake is filtered. This one is less filtered. People commonly call it unfiltered sake, but it's just not functionally...
So you'll see in the...
So it might go through like a very coarse filtration.
Coarse filtered. So this would be a coarse filtered sake versus a fine filtered sake.
I'm one of those weird people that like the lees. I like the flavor and
You
that
get
little bit of gritty texture.
Yeah, you get that nice rice sweetness to it.
Yeah.
It's a good mouthfeel.
And you said that you guys make American sake. What's the difference between American sake and sake you get from Japan?
Sake in Japan actually has a global indicator similar to tequila or champagne. Nihonshu can only come from Nippon or Japan. So we make sake here in America, and they wouldn't allow the pomegranate.
Like, what is this?
Right, this is what you get when you open a sake brewery in San Diego. You get craft sake.
This is where this guy comes in, a craft sake brewer. Man.
Right?
Yeah. And I'm not very versed in sake. I've only honestly had it when I've gone for sushi, and every single time I've always just been like, I don't get that with your guys's. But do you, I know that you can get cold sake and warm sake. Do you make warm sake?
We serve warm. All sake can be heated. Some
Uh-huh.
sakes are made to be heated. Some sakes are made to be drank cold. We serve hot sake around Christmas time in the winter months, but we
When it
don't.
gets so cold here in San Diego.
So cold.
So cold.
But
Yeah.
we don't do it year round because
Yeah.
it's right now it's perfect.
Yeah.
You're not looking for a hot beverage.
So we serve it more like a hot cider. So we'll fruit it or add herbs to it, just to have that nice little toasty thing to sip
But
on. Yeah.
generally here in America, if you're drinking hot sake, it's because it's inexpensive sake and they heat it up to hide the bad flavors.
Learning things on Beer for Breakfast here.
To me, I think when I drink the heated stuff, I get a little more ethanol coming off the nose. It's kind of flashing off or something.
Right? It brings the alcohol to the forefront and obfuscates some of the maybe lesser qualities of the product. Similarly to putting an orange wheel on a Belgian wit.
Yeah, right? That's a good analogy. Yeah.
I like that. Well, before we get into our next sake from you guys, what's going on with Setting Sun? You guys are constantly doing stuff. I follow you on social media. You guys are one of the hardest working breweries. I don't know if you
Yes.
call Setting Sun a brewery, but
So
Yes.
in Japan, sake is made in kuras, and kura translates to brewery loosely. It translates directly to warehouse, but it's kind of one of those understood that like sake is a brewed beverage similar to beer. It's only here in America that we call it rice wine, but we call strong alcoholic beverages wines. You've got barley wine,
Right.
you've got apple wine, anything
Sure.
over a certain alcohol percentage, and that has more to do with bureaucracy and licensing than actual like brewing tradition or producing the good stuff.
Yep.
Well, there you go. Setting
Yeah.
Sake
So
is
it's fair
your
to call them
brewery.
a brewery.
I
We're
like
brewery.
that. I like that.
Absolutely.
So like I said, you guys are continuously doing stuff. I follow you on social media, and it's just constantly events and things going on. What's happening?
I'm super excited to announce our fourth San Diego Sake Day. We're doing it at the Japanese Friendship Garden
Awesome.
in Balboa Park. This will be our biggest one yet. We've teamed up with Ayaka Ito from Bashak Ramen, and she's bringing the heat and going to be supplying a bunch of food. We've teamed up with
Small Goods Cheese.
Small Goods Cheese. They're a local cheese purveyor.
Yeah.
And they're actually going to be serving a cheese that was made for us by Beehive Creamery in Utah. So it's a sake wash rind cheese that we'll be
Wow.
serving at the sake event.
Oh my God.
We'll be featuring sake breweries from around the country and around the world, as well as beer breweries. We'll have an opening barrel ceremony where you crack the barrel of sake open and serve from it, and everybody loves that. That goes right into our fish demo, featuring Chef Jeff and special celebrity fish guest. I can't even announce it now.
Yeah.
It's so spicy. But right after that, we're going into Genbu Daiko is coming back and performing taiko drums.
Oh,
I apologize. No,
They
it's
do the closing performance.
Kendo Bu.
We have Kendo Bu. It's a sword fighting group.
Oh, wow.
So we're going to have fish fabrication. We're going to have sword fighting. We're going to have drums. There's going to be fun. There's going to be blood. There's going to be excitement.
Oh my God.
Excellent.
There's
I mean,
a
you're breaking
caricature
down the fish.
artist coming also, so that'll be
When
fun.
is this happening?
October 1st is International Sake Day, and that's a Friday. So we start at 5 o'clock for general admittance. VIPs get in early, and we got some extra fun stuff for them. And then we go all the way to 8:30,
Yeah.
and it's all you can drink, all you can eat, sake, sushi,
Ooh.
craft madness.
Take an
This
Uber, take a
sounds
Lyft.
Rad. So for
Yeah.
people who want more information on this, can they go to your website?
They can go to
or
our
social
website. They
media?
go to San Diego Sake Day. It's an Instagram. It's a Facebook event.
Yep.
It's a
Tickets
are
are on
live.
Eventbrite.
We're almost sold out. Actually, we've got like
Get on it.
I think we got
Like-
like 15 VIPs left,
Yeah.
and maybe like
There's less than 100.
less than 100
GA tickets.
GA tickets.
You
Yeah.
will be very upset you don't go because I am upset when I see it on social media afterwards because it looks like so much fun.
So after 10 years in the beer industry, I've gone to so many brewery events, so many beer events, and I'm not a fan of the drunk fest personally. So I want to give people something to do other than stand in line and just try the next thing. So we've got entertainment, we've got food, we've got educational stuff. It really is a full day of drinking.
Yeah.
So that's October 1st.
October 1st.
And then Metal swap meet.
Metal
Oh,
swap
yeah.
meet, and this is
Oh.
our
Metal
So
swap
excited.
meet.
Kim. Is this our third year?
This is our third year
Our
hosting
third year
it.
hosting it.
It's great because our whole Miralani Makers District has embraced the metal swap meet. So they're taking over the whole building. Like they're going to wrap around the whole
Oh, so
building.
it's not just going to be like behind
Not,
in that.
not just on the backside.
Nice.
There's another stage this year. There's 3 bands playing this year.
That's true.
One of them we are collabing with a
Cave
bottle
Bastard.
release.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a lot of fun.
Cave Bastard?
Cave
Yes.
Bastard's a really doomy, awesome band that I'm a fan of, and they are releasing a new album. And they came in and we did a bunch of tastings of some of our like obscure barrel-aged funky stuff. And we've got this blood orange cherry port barrel-aged sake coming out.
That sounds amazing.
Oh my God, it's off the hook. It's so good.
So port barrel-aged sake.
Yeah.
So, okay, I've got a question that's just, do some of the sake traditionalists kind of frown upon some of the stuff that you guys are doing?
That's a great question. And in Japan, I've noticed that they love it because we're doing something they do, right? And it's kind of like, oh, wow, they're doing a thing we do. We like that.
Yeah.
The people that don't generally like what I do are people that take it way too seriously. They don't understand what sake or brewing is. I'm sure you've experienced
Absolutely.
some type that took beer way too seriously.
Yep.
They thought Michael Jackson, the white guy, was way too right about beer.
There's a second Michael Jackson, the white guy.
Yeah.
that
The
people
other
don't know
white
about.
Michael Jackson, that's the one. They took
Goodness.
beer way too seriously, and they said, you can't do that. You can't have that. That's not allowed. And to
Right.
all those people, I say, fuck you.
Yeah,
We can cuss on this, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's on the
Good.
internet. It's fine.
I mean, it's like art,
This
right?
is.
And
Yeah.
how do you like say that's not art and that
Yeah.
is?
But so it's super important to me, and this hoppy sake is smelling super dank. I'm really
It is.
enjoying
Totally
it. The
is.
citra is coming across nicely.
Yeah.
This is something that would not be allowed in Japan because of the governmental strictures and regulations.
Oh, wow.
Because sake is so heavily nationalized, the government is involved in every part of the
So
process.
it's like the Reinheitsgebot of sake.
Extreme Reinheitsgebot,
Yes.
yeah. And so this would never fly over there, but the fact that I get to do it is the reason why some sake brewers are moving to America to open up sake breweries.
Yeah.
Is because of the freedom.
Yeah.
So when I started brewing sake all those years ago, there was only 7 in North America, 7 craft sake brewers.
Yeah.
Now there's over 20.
Oh,
and
wow.
so we're seeing a real
Hey there,
expansion.
trendsetter. I see you.
Ah.
I see you.
I wasn't cool then, and I'll be cool later.
Well, what is this that we've been sipping on as we've been chatting? I'm really digging this. No offense to the pomegranate one, but this is where my heart is lying.
This is the Hopheads version of sake.
There it is. That must be why.
Right? And so this is a citra hop showcased through the dry hopping method in sake, so you're not getting too much bitterness. You're not getting too much like hoppy resinous taste. It's all floral notes. It's all tropical
notes, yeah.
lychee, star fruit.
I get lychee. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
So when it comes to like hoppy beers, I think they go really well with seafood.
Right.
This because of that hop component, I think with sushi would just be a home run, and I bet sushi chefs would love to pair.
Sushi chefs love to pair with our stuff, but I love to take sake outside of its confines of Japanese food. And this weekend, we'll have a Cuban food pop up to pair with our sake.
Friday and
And
Saturday.
celebrity guest bartender Shannon Lynette.
She'll be
I
there
know that chick.
Thursday. Yeah.
So we're pulling out all the guns. This is our big month. We're bringing in celebrity guest bartenders. We're bringing in
I
food.
bartend.
Do you want to come by?
Yeah.
And let's announce your date later.
Yes. I'm going to go pour setting sun sake one day.
One day soon. Let's do
Yeah,
this.
let's do this. I'm down.
So we have food pop-ups. We had Indian food recently. We do all kinds. Most recently with SD Charcuterie, they had barbecue, right?
Yeah, so they have a catering company as well, and they did like pork belly sliders and tri-tip nachos.
Oh my
And,
gosh.
and
So-
it paired beautifully with our sake, so.
Yes, sake
Very
pairs
nice.
with sushi, but also it pairs well with cheese. So
yeah.
get it on your pizza. It pairs well with burgers. Try it at your favorite burger spot. Ask for Setting Sun Sake wherever alcohol is served.
There it is.
Yeah.
There is your local, independently owned sake brewery here in San Diego.
This one with the dank component and the dryness would go perfect with like a stinky French cheese or something.
I
Oh,
believe
yeah.
that. I
Right,
believe
because
that.
you get the complementing flavors,
Right.
but then you get
And
the
then-
dryness that just lifts the cheese
Or
fat
like
off
a nice
your tongue.
baked
I like the way
brie.
you're thinking.
Oh,
Yeah.
Let's do this.
That
That'll
would be
really good.
perfect.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, Josh and Kim, what you guys are doing over at Setting Sun Sake is nothing beyond just amazing.
Revolutionary.
It really is.
Tell your
I mean,
friends. Tell
I've-
all of your friends.
if you've only ever had sake like at a sushi restaurant, that is probably the worst example of sake tasting these. So
It's
get to
traditional
Setting Sun.
example.
The reason
traditional,
why
yeah.
it's the worst way to try sake is the same reason that going to Applebee's is the worst time to get craft beer. It's because they're not serving the fresh local stuff. They're not. They're focused on the commodity brands. You don't go to a ballpark. I mean, nowadays you can get a $19 pint of IPA, but
Aurora Hopialis.
right.
Never heard of it. Never heard of her.
But originally, you would have to go to craft beer bars because craft beer wasn't a thing. Now that craft beer is a thing in San Diego, you get craft beer everywhere.
Yeah.
Now that sake is not really a thing yet, so you get the commodity brands. There's producers here in California that use California rice, California water, brewed here in California,
Yeah.
just like me. But because they don't put English on the label, you wouldn't know that Gekikon is made in Folsom, or that Takara or Shochikobai is made in Berkeley. And so these sake brands that you're
Bigger
buying
brands.
at these sushi restaurants are actually commodity brands made for here. They don't ship them back to Japan.
Oh, look at dude! You've dropped so much knowledge today.
There's so
if
much.
people just want to like cruise to your tasting room,
Right.
they can do that, right?
So
and then just get
let
a
me
full-
let me brag for a second. I know this whole time I've been talking about Sake Day and Metal Swap Meet and all of our cool sakes, but I want to brag about Kim for a second.
This lady's amazing.
She just recently got her international Kiki Sake sheet, which is International Sake Sommelier certification.
Congratulations,
Thank
Kim. That's
you.
awesome.
It's
Well
hard
done.
work that
Yeah.
she's done to separate herself as a sake educator, and she's happy to answer all your questions in the tasting room.
So you can just hang at a bar like this and gain knowledge
yeah.
from her. And
Professionals, actual professionals in the industry.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So what's great is not only can you just drink these, we have them on tap in our tasting room. We have a full sake cocktail menu as well.
Sake cocktail.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yes.
The Garden-esque. Come in and get the Garden-esque. That one's great.
Yeah.
My personal favorites are curry one. We have a
curry
curry
juku.
cocktail that's
Ooh, you
so
guys
good.
are doing
Wow.
it over there.
Yeah.
pairing with all foods.
You guys didn't have the cocktail thing last time I was there.
No,
No.
we've been trying very hard to impress
I
you
gotta
on
go
your
back.
next visit.
Yeah.
Well, Josh and Kim, before we say goodbye to you
Yeah.
guys, one last plug for the 2 events you guys have coming up.
Sake Day on October 1st,
Yes.
which is a Friday at the Japanese Friendship Garden in Balboa Park here in San Diego. Metal Swap Meet. What day is that on?
Saturday, October 16th.
Good, I didn't remember.
That's from 10 to 5.
in the Setting Sun Sake parking lot at the Miralani Makers District. So we'll have beer, wine, sake, cider, food.
I've been to Metal Swap Meet before. It is a good time.
It's-
Even if you're like not like a total metalhead, like
Oh,
it is
yeah, no.
so
People
much
watching.
fun.
People
Yeah.
dress up. It's people watching
Yeah.
extravaganza.
I hope my mom doesn't give you a hard time this year, but I can't make any guarantees.
I
can't make any
hope she
guarantees.
does. I hope she does. Tell her to come on back.
That
Big
was
Ange, go say
so
hi
great.
to Josh.
She always means well.
And when you get there, tell them Big Ange.
Hey,
sent you.
Big Ange is sitting over there with Derek Riggs. Go say hi. Josh and Kim, thank you so much for joining
Thank
us
you.
for Beer for Breakfast ABV. You know what? We're not going to get into this one, but I want to try it. Just
Yeah.
Yeah,
My
get
glass
at
Your
it.
glass is empty.
Yeah.
We
My
got
glass
a
is-
cheers.
And we got a
Oh, yeah.
cheers, and it's
Cheers,
bad
my
luck
heart.
to cheers with an empty glass.
I heard
and
that.
I know.
Paul,
all the
get Paul
rules.
too.
On it.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. That's our Ronin Clear. That's the good stuff.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys. Cheers. We're cheersing.
And with that, make sure you join us Friday morning for Beer for Breakfast on the radio, 91.1 FM if you're in San Diego. Stream us from 91x.com or download that app for free. 9-10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We will be drinking some Setting Sun sake on Beer for Breakfast. So please join us, and cheers to independently owned craft sake and radio in San Diego.
Cheers to
Cheers.
that. Nicely done, guys.
Yeah.
Cheers, man.
Cheers.
91X.